Hello my scrappy friends and welcome to my channel today. Today's share is for Cut to You, and I am playing with two cut files. Now both of these cut files I cut quite a while ago when they were first released on my Cameo, so sometime last year, I'm going to say like September or something, and I've never gotten around to using them. I have cut them in black cardstock, and yeah, I was kind of struggling for an idea, and then I was like, maybe I'll go through my bag of already cut things because there's so many to choose from on the website now. I was just feeling overwhelmed. So I went back through, I do have some that I've pre-cut, and this is the one that jumped out at me. I have these photos of my biggest child. He cracks me up. And I'm working on this grey Bella Boulevard pattern paper as my background with all the cameras on it. I thought it was just a really good one for these photos. I knew that I wanted to start my page on the bottom right hand side there with my title, so I've got some white gesso, used my silicone spatula to apply that, and also my finger to soften the edges. And I've just, I think I did dry it with my heat gun because, you know, when inspiration strikes, when you've got a million things to do, you just run with it. I don't particularly like using my heat gun all that much because it does warp the paper, but it's not too bad. Well, not yet anyway. So I'm kind of doing things backwards here. I'm not sure why I did it this way and not the other way. You would think that I would do my mixed media, and while that was drying, back my cut file, but nope, I decided to back my cut file and then do my mixed media. So I've pulled out the Paige Evans Fancy Free collection, and the photos have got a really dark navy blue, a pop of brighter blue, and so I thought blues and greens again would be a good colour for me. I seem to keep reaching for green at the moment. Give me a colour challenge. Tina, not purple. Give me a colour challenge though. Give me some colours to play with and I'll have a go. So like I said, I'm just going to back this cut file. I'm only going to show you these first two letters. I am tracing around the outside of my cut file, and I don't know how well you can see that. I do little spots of glue all the way around the edge of my cut file rather than putting glue all the way around, because then I don't have it smushing out the sides. So that's all backed. Pop that aside. Pulled out some of my shimmers paints to add my mixed media. This first colour that I'm using is our Shimmers Original in Jilted Jade, I think I used. Yes. And I'm just adding a little bit to my packaging, adding some water and smushing it down. This process is pretty straightforward. I think that everyone's had a play. If you haven't, you need to, because it is fun. So I'm just adding colour, and you'll see in a minute after this colour that I add some water. This one is Creamies in Pining for You, and you can see that I've just I did the packaging technique, but the colour wasn't quite running enough, so I've just squirted some water and I'm just moving the colour around the page. I'm going to use my paintbrush, I'm going to use the packaging technique, I'm going to spritz some water straight onto the paper and just tip and turn the page. You can see there too that I added in some more of that Jilted Jade. Now on my screen this part of the video is blurry. I think that it's watchable. If it's not, I do apologise. When I uploaded this into my software, I noticed that this had recorded sideways, so I've had to turn it. Maybe that's why. So I do apologise. I hope that it is watchable, but it does clear up in a minute. It is only this mixed media part that is blurry. So you can see I'm going in with my next colours. This one is one of my favourites. It's called Colder Than Ice, and it is a Shimmers Original as well. Again, paintbrush, packaging, water, moving, just mushing it the colour around. This is another of my favourite colours. It is Oaky Bear Blue, and it is a Inklings. It's got beautiful shimmer to it, but I didn't want it to overpower. I know that this colour can overpower if I add too much, So I'm just adding the tiniest bit in a couple of places, adding some water, moving the colour around. And you see I'm coming back in with some of those other colours as well and soaking up some of that excess water. If you can hear the power tools, again, hubby is out in the workshop working hard, building blocks, this stuff. Next weekend he'll be building my desk. I'm so excited. Big move is starting on Good Friday, so I will keep you posted. I've got a heap of work to do between now and then, so yes. And now is actually Sunday before this goes live, and I think this goes live on Tuesday. But I have been busy creating like a mad person, and I still have more to go. So I'm just adding splatters now, using all those same colours. Now, I realise on the video you can't even see what happened there, but I got a big blob of that light blue up on the top right there, and I looked at it and I was like, how am I gonna, what am I gonna do? So I end up using a baby wipe, and I get most of the colour off. If you look, you can see the mark because it's left shimmer, but it's really not that obvious. And until I watched the video back, I totally forgot I'd done it. So there you go. So I'm just adding splatters. Some of the colours I need to add a bit more water to, and some of them I use the packaging for as well. This is the Oki Bear Blue. Again, I didn't want to go too crazy with this colour because it can really quickly overpower, but it is beautiful. I love it. So that's all dry now. I decide that I'm going to add some more black. So I've got my my cut file, which is black, and I don't currently have any other black on the page. So to kind of tie it all together, I'm going in with some stamps and my VersaFine black ink. So the first stamp that I used was a little text one. It was on a wood block, but I took it off the wood block. And then this cross one is from Viva Las Vegas. So I did dry the stamping off with my heat tool, and I knew I wanted to add some black splatters, so I'm just using some painter's tape and sticking my page down. It has warped enough that if I do splatters, they're going to run. So I do stick that down. I'm using my Colour Blast road-based colour spray and just a little fan brush and doing some little black splatters. I think I come in with my paper towel just to soak those up. And I'm just transferring the date across before I stick layers behind my photos. I'm really loving the way this is looking. I'm just going to add some more of those same patterns behind one of the photos. I did think about adding it to more, but I felt that one was enough when I start to put it all together. I do look around for another pattern to add behind here, and I decide to go with tissue paper. I do get a notification on my Fitbit that I got a text message, so I think you see it. You see me stop doing what I'm doing to check it. So that's me looking at the photos going, do I want to add more? No, I'm just going to add tissue paper. Just going to fold that excess over. Add this last piece, because why not? There you go, yeah, I did. I got a text message and it popped up on my Fitbit, so I just thought I'd check that. I'm just working out placement for these photos. I knew where they were going, I just wasn't sure which order they were going to go in now that I've only backed one of them. And I felt that putting the backed one on the right hand side at the top just gave the best balance. I think because it's in the middle. I'm going to stick my photos to my title. Now, I don't know if anyone noticed, when I put all this on, I don't know how I didn't notice until I went to stick it down, right now, that I was covering up most of that mixed media. I do find a place where I'm happy with it, so I'm just going to push it down a little bit, and I am quite happy with how that looks, so I'm good with that. I'm going to mount my photos and my title onto some foam. Now, I can't remember what exactly happened that day, but I kind of ended up with only a few spare minutes here and a few spare minutes there. So what I've done off camera, and you can't see it particularly well on the video, not from where I can see it, but I've got a white paint pen and I have outlined all of those letters on that cut file. And while I searched and searched for something extra to add, I came across these wild geometric leaves, which is another of Gwen's cut files. And I was like, yes, that's exactly what I need. So I've just backed those with some of the same patterns again. And I found a place where I'm happy for them to go. Then I think I forgot that I hadn't turned the camera on, to be honest with you. And then I was like, oh, camera. So I put the camera on, and what I've got here is some thread. I felt like I wanted to add some more fun texture, messiness, and so I've got a blue and a green that I thought matched the colours good enough, and I'm going to start sticking everything down. I'm going to start in this bottom right hand corner, pull that thread out, put that back in, get it to a place where I'm happy with it, and I'm just going to lift up my title and the photo and add glue, making sure that those live for are straight. And then I'm just using my Scotch tacky glue to glue everything down. I don't make you watch all that. After that was all stuck down, I pulled out the Paige Evans hashtag sticker book and pulled out a bunch of stickers. I started with that rose gold one up the top that says, let me just grab the layout. It says, enjoy the little things. So I pulled out things in the blues and greens that I really like. I'm sorry that the bottom of this page is cut off. I didn't realise when I was recording. Pulled out a little tab. I'm going to move that right now. I'm just adding little bits and pieces around the page. A circle that I've cut in half, and half is going to go behind that photo, and then the other half is going to go up the top underneath that little arrow banner thingy that says love it. You know what, instead of putting the layout away, I'm going to keep it out. Add my date there. Oh, I also added my journaling. The journaling reads, you are a total cracker. While I tried on glasses, you had to as well, and your expressions were totally priceless. Just what I needed to laugh while I waited to book a specialist appointment. So yeah, when you see the close-ups, you'll see that in a couple of the photos, his eyes are cross-eyed. It was hilarious. Out of nowhere, and I was like, oh dude, you crack me up. I'm so grateful that you are in my life and make me laugh when things are tough. The little signposting down the bottom says take the path least taken. Again, I just thought that was appropriate for this little clown. Adding some more glue. Nothing wanted to stick. It was driving me mental. I think off camera. So I'm going to add all of these rose gold hearts, because I realised that I only had the enjoy the little things sticker in rose gold. I'm going to add those around the page. And I think off camera I add lots of little phrases. It is a Sunday, my children are home. It is actually also the start of the school holidays, so if you can hear them, that's why. I do add off camera, you'll see in the close-ups, some little green word phrases that have got rose gold writing. The top left says follow your heart. The middle on the left says remember and be wild, and the bottom right says I love you and happy. So this was I had a lot of fun putting this together. I just kind of went, you know what, I'm just going to go crazy with the fun of mixed media. If you're not a messy artist, then you're like, oh my god, it's not fun, it's messy, Gwen. But I love it, it's fun. It's my favourite way to create. Make sure you head over to the shop. Like I said, there are a ton of new cuts over there. Maybe you haven't seen some of these old ones as well. They're also fun. Thank you ever so much for stopping by, and I'll be back again very soon with another share. Thank you.